What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Today, guys, we're going to talk about black wealth. And here's the thing, man. I know some of you guys get triggered by that, but you got to understand. I'm a black person, I'm a black American, and from time to time, I like to make videos that are geared specifically towards black Americans because why? We're at the bottom of the financial totem pole in this country, and my job, or at least one of my jobs here on YouTube, is to share information that could potentially get us up that financial totem pole. Although my channel is for everyone, the majority of my videos I make are for everyone. From time to time, I do get specific, so I hope you understand that. But let's dive on into it. What are we going to discuss today? We're going to discuss where black Americans are right now with their wealth in 2025. And then we're going to talk about some things that black Americans can do to increase their wealth in 2025 and beyond. So let's dive in. Here's the situation right now, guys. We control 3% of the wealth in this country. That means other groups control 97% of the wealth. But also, we spend about $2 trillion a year on stuff, right? So it makes sense to me that, in my opinion, it's not a lack of money-making ability, but it is a lack of what we do with that money has put us in a situation where we're at the bottom of the financial totem pole when it comes to wealth. In 2025, the median wealth for black American households was around $44,900, while the median wealth for other households are around $285,000. While black wealth has increased since the end of the Great Recession, it still lags far behind other racial groups. Now, again, guys, this is not about pitting one group of people up against the other. I'm not here to blame anybody for anything. What I'm here to do is to tell you the facts about where we stand and then what we can do to improve it going forward. All right? So now let's move on. Since I've given you a little quick recap of kind of where we're at, basically last place when it comes to, building wealth. But almost at the top of the financial totem pole when it comes to making money and actually spending that money, right? Spending, we're at the top of the food chain. When we're saving, investing, and building wealth, we're at the bottom of the food chain. So here's some things I believe we can do in order to help us move up the financial totem pole. To increase wealth in 2025, black Americans can focus on strategies like increasing savings, investing early, and building business equity. Financial literacy and entrepreneurship are also key. Additionally, policy changes that address systemic inequalities such as raising the minimum wage and providing down payment assistance for homeowners can further support wealth building efforts. Now, that last piece right now, we don't control really. That's controlled by the current administration, both from, state and federal levels. Now, of course, we vote. So we certainly can vote different people in different positions in our state and federal government in order to help with some of these other things that can happen at the state and federal level to assist people in building wealth. But I think what I want to focus on is just what we can do. I can't control what some administration does right now. What I can control is what I do to build my wealth. So let's talk about some things. Number one thing I believe we can do is prioritize savings and investments. Start early. Begin saving and investing as early as possible to leverage the power of compounding. Now, I know some of y'all are going to say, well, Richard, I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 70. It's too late for me. It's not too late for you. Now, Ideally, we'd want to start early, but everybody don't get to start early. Some of us got to start a little later. It doesn't mean you can't start now, saving and investing, right? So that's the number one thing we can do is start saving and investing. Emergency fund. Why is that important? Build an emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses, providing a safety net and preventing reliance on high interest rate debt. So if you go look at consumer debt for Black Americans, we're high up there. So that means we have a high level of consumer debt relative to our actual wealth. Emergency fund is important, right? That's important because if we hit a financial bump in the road, we get fired, we get laid off, we get sick, we can't work. If we don't have an emergency fund, guys, that's where we're going to get in trouble with consumer debt, especially credit cards, because that's going to be our safety net, right? That's even if we have any available, limit on those credit cards. Consider diversifying investments across various asset classes, including stocks, bonds, and real estate. You guys know on my channel, no expert here, but I do talk a lot about assets, taking your active income and then putting it in something, an asset that will grow over time, that will create what? Passive income. So let's move on to focusing on financial literacy. That's a big one, guys, because obviously in America in general, we lack financial literacy. And we certainly also lack it, in my opinion, in our community, right? I lacked it. When I was 26 years old, I was dead broke, no job, negative net worth, bad credit score. Why? Because I just lacked financial literacy. It had nothing to do with my ability to make money because I made money. I just spent it all the wrong way. And I had lack of financial literacy. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. We just got to get out here, continue to improve our financial literacy, which in turn will help us make better decisions with our money. Another big one, guys, we got to teach our children about financial literacy, right? Now, my parents and my grandparents were wonderful people. They worked hard. They kept food in our mouth, clothes on our back, a roof over our head. But since they didn't really have any financial literacy, there was nothing they could teach me about it because they didn't have it. But what I've decided to do, since now I do have financial literacy, I teach my kids about money. I teach my kids about investing. I teach my kids about emergency fund. I teach my kids about living on less than what you make. I teach my kids about staying out of consumer debt. That's what we got to do, guys. We got to pass this knowledge on that we start acquiring from a financial literacy standpoint. We got to pass that on to our children. And then the last thing I want to really talk about is explore entrepreneurship. Now, I got a late start on entrepreneurship, right? I started my own business when I was about 51 years old. I had been 25 years in banking, working for someone else. But I decided to take a chance on me and my knowledge, right? And I started my own business. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, that's the greatest thing from a business standpoint, from a making money standpoint, from a wealth standpoint that I could ever do. Now, I know owning a business is not for everybody. Why? Because 85% of Americans work for somebody. It's not for everybody. But for those of you who've been thinking about entrepreneurship and starting your own business, go for it. Don't be afraid. Take the chance. Come up with you a good idea that you believe will solve problems. And then go find you people to solve that problem for them, right? That's what you got to do. That's what I did, and I believe you can do the same thing. So today was just about making you guys aware of, as Black Americans, where we stand on the financial totem pole, which is last. 3% of the wealth we control. 97% of the wealth is controlled by other people. Now, we can move up that financial totem pole. We can, but we're going to have to do some things like I talked about, how to build wealth, right? We got to do these things in order to get ourselves there. Number one, prioritize savings and investments, right? And under that, we want to have an emergency fund. We want to invest in assets. And number two, we got to focus on financial literacy, learn about money, teach our children about money. And then number 3, we got to explore entrepreneurship and business ownership. Thank you guys for stopping in. And if you're stopping in for the first time, hit that thumbs up button for me. I really would appreciate it. Thoughts become things. See it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace. Moo is going to give you some NVIDIA stock when you open up a new Moo brokerage account and make a deposit. All you got to do is get down to the first link in the description box. That's the Moo brokerage link. Click on it and get all the details on how you can get some NVIDIA stock. Don't delay, act today. Second link down in the description box is the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. Guys, all we do in that community is help each other build wealth, get to financial freedom and passive income. If you want to be a part of our team, all you got to do is click on that second link. It'll take you over to Patreon, and then come sign up for the fastest growing financial community on Patreon. We'll call the Wealth Builders.